So the next topic coming across is the equation to derive the derivation of the equation of distance between the two skew lines. So imagine the same skew lines which I told in this one. These two skew lines are taken something like this right now. Okay, same thing. This coordinate system itself, here only these two lines whichever was there, here these two lines itself which were like this, I am taking it right now like this. Okay, so it is, you can imagine it is something like this in this, sorry, this is here and this is above ceiling like this, correct? So this is something like this, if you can imagine. Yes, from here to here and this one to this one. This is the two skew lines which I am drawn, and from here I am be taking from this point to this point. This same two skew lines I am taking in this coordinate system. Now in this coordinate system, let me imagine a position vector S, a point S. Let me call these two vectors as L1 and L2 vector. Let lines as L1 and L2 lines. And in L1 or in L2 line, this L2 line, let me mark a point S. Let me mark a point S and join the position vector to origin. And this is nothing but my position vector for S point. Position vector for S point. Then in the L2, let me imagine there is a point T, and this is nothing but the position vector for T. So here, position vector, let me call this as A1 and A2. These two are any random points on these two lines, and P and Q are also any random 2 points which is having position vector B1 and B2. Okay, so these 4 points I have made sure I have marked it over here. So here PQ is nothing but the perpendicular to both the lines. Just now, this is nothing but the shortest distance between the two lines. As I have told you in that imagination part, that shortest distance is nothing but PQ. Both are perpendicular as I have drawn it in the diagram itself, you can see. And this is what I have marked it as the shortest distance, small letter d. Fine. And this ST is nothing but a random line, which is making an angle of theta with respect to perpendicular. Which is, this ST is the random line from 2 points, something randomly here drawing like this to like this, which is making an angle of theta with respect to the perpendicular or with respect to the vertical. Theta is made with respect to vertical right now. So this is the explanation for the diagram which I am looking into. So now here L1 line, it will be represented by a vector form as R vector is equal to A1 vector plus lambda into B1 vector. L2 is represented in this equation, R vector is equal to A2 into mu into B2 vector. Okay, this is the two equations of the vector or these two lines in general form. Then let N vector be a unit vector along PQ vector. Let me imagine there is a unit vector in this PQ vector. Let me call it as N vector. Okay, and that is given by a formula in cross product. Go through the cross product formula. That is nothing but this position vector's cross product divided by its magnitude. Yes, go revise that. Go through that cross product video, in which the vector which is perpendicular to the two vectors is simply nothing but the cross product of that divided by the magnitude of that. So unit vector is nothing but vector divided by its own magnitude. And since this is the unit vector along PQ, it is given by B cross B, B1 cross B2 divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2. You should remember this formula. This is one important formula in order to start the derivation with. That is N vector, N cap is equal to B1 dot B1 cross B2 divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2. This first formula, and this is another formula which you need to remember. This general equation anyway. So this one should come to your mind. And then next one equation coming to your mind is N cap. After that, this PQ is N cap times of B, isn't it? PQ is nothing but N cap time of D, which means the length of PQ is D, correct? But unit vector along PQ is N. You remember we had done one problem, something like find a unit vector, find a vector which is having 8 units. Same way, first what I did is I found out unit vector, multiplied whatever is the unit. Right now it is D into n cap. So this PQ vector is given by D into n cap vector. Remember this formula. Next, let me go to the another formula which you need to remember. This is one formula, this is one formula, this one is one formula, and this one is another one. That is ST. This ST, let me take this as a triangle OST. In triangle OST, I can tell that OS vector plus ST vector is equal to OT vector. Yes, this vector plus this vector is equal to this one, and I will substitute OS is nothing but A1 vector. Sorry, first let me change the position of OS vector to that side. So that ST vector is equal to OT vector minus OS vector. So OT vector is nothing but A2 substituted here. OS vector is nothing but A1 substituted here. So I found out another formula for ST. ST vector is equal to A2 minus A1 vector. Clear? So these are the basic formulas which you need to remember in order to start with the derivation. So this thing, so PQ, right now you can I tell, I'll resolve this ST vector to its vertical component. So this one here, vertical itself is nothing but the theta with respect to which it is making. So I can tell ST is nothing but this vertical component cos theta, correct? But vertical component is nothing but my PQ, correct or not? So PQ is the vertical component. It can be written as ST cos theta. Yes or no? So PQ is equal to ST cos theta by resolving that ST to with respect to that angle theta. So PQ, this ST is nothing but PQ is nothing but ST cos theta. I resolved it into the angular form. So now I can tell that cos theta is given by PQ dot ST divided by magnitude of PQ into ST. Yes, PQ into ST is nothing but the two vectors PQ and ST. So something like this. After resolving, I can tell like this too, like this. Theta is this one. This is PQ and ST. They have become just one like this. Okay. So the angle between that is given by dot product of these two vectors divided by magnitude of itself. So cos theta is equal to PQ vector dot ST vector divided by magnitude of PQ into magnitude of ST. Okay, dot product formula. This is the dot product formula. Using that, I found out the angle between that. Clear? So after this, I will substitute their values into this one. So PQ vector is given by D into n cap, substituted here. Okay, PQ vector is D into n cap, substitute. ST vector is A2 minus A1, substituted here. Okay, PQ vector is this one, this is this one here. Magnitude of PQ is nothing but distance D, shortest distance. Magnitude means what? Length of PQ vector. Length of PQ is nothing but D. Length of ST is simply ST, I'll write it. Okay, just ST I will write it as it is. So then you know that D and D here will cancel out. Only remaining will be n cap into A2 minus A1 vector divided by ST. But A2 minus this n cap, already I have found out a formula. Already I know a formula. Substitute this n cap in the position of this one here. So I can tell B1 cross B2 divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2, A2 minus A1 by ST. This is what remains of cos theta. So this is the formula which I found out for cos theta. Now I will go to the equation number 1, which I have resolved and kept it like that. PQ is equal to ST cos theta. Okay, PQ is equal to ST cos theta, or PQ is simply nothing but D. Yes or no? PQ is the distance D. So D is equal to ST cos theta. So D is equal to ST into cos theta. Cos theta is this one, which I have already found out. I will substitute the cos theta value here in this here. ST will remain out. Cos theta I will substitute. Everything is there, but ST is here this side as well as in the denominator of this one, which will cancel out in this. Last thing remaining here is B1 cross B2 dot A2 minus A1 divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2. Clear? So this is the formula to find out the shortest distance between the two skew lines. So what you will do is whenever the question is given, two equations will be given for you in this way, or these two itself, the same thing. Write down what is A1 vector, A2 vector, B1 vector, B2 vector. All these four you write it separately. Then separately find out what is B1 cross B2. Then separately find out what is A2 minus A1 vector. Then magnitude of B1 cross B2 also you find out. Substitute all the values into it and then find the value into this one. We'll come across when you are solving in the numericals. Okay. So this equation or this derivation is important. Let it actually it starts from here. But I want you all to understand this concept as well. In order to begin with the derivation, this is very important. So together with this, you'll understand the derivation. This is going to be an important derivation for solving the numericals as well as in the examination point. So then there is small note based on the same derivation. What if the two lines were parallel? Previously I told it is non-parallel and non-intersecting. Now let me assume that these two lines are parallel. What happens for the parallel line is its component is there, no? That is B1 and B2. These two B1 and B2. That will be same itself. So whatever is in the second part of that equation is going to be only one. That is simply B vector. So here B1 cross B2, instead of writing B1 cross B2, I will simply write it as B vector. Here also magnitude of B vector. Just that small change. Whenever the two lines are parallel, it is going to be just B vector into A2 minus A1 divided by magnitude of B vector. That's just a small change on these two things. This is for the distance between skew lines and this is distance between the two parallel lines. Yeah. So we'll solve the numericals in the next class. So this much is the explanation. In the next video, I will be solving the example problems as well as few exercise problems, and then we'll be going. I want you all to complete the full exercise. Yes, let me know if you have any doubts. Thank you.